every time it is being edited, it will be evaluated. Third is anytime it's being edited to subsequently meet criteria. So the difference between the second point and third point is second point will work every time it is being edited, irrespective of what is being edited. But in third point, it will only be evaluated only if it is being edited to meet the criteria subsequently. If it is being edited to meet the criteria, right? So in this case, let us take the third one, go to save and next. So what we have defined the object, we have defined the rule, we have defined the evaluation criteria, three things we have defined. Now what is the only thing left for us? The action. What should happen? If this criteria is met, what should it do? So it takes us to this stage where we need to specify the workflow actions. So this is where we'll have to add the action. Add workflow actions. Okay. So here also you have two options. You can add immediate workflow actions, or you can add time dependent workflow actions. Okay. So this immediate workflow action is something which will happen instantly. The moment record is created or edited, instantly the email will be sent. But sometimes you might want to delay the action by some time. Let's say 8 hours after the record was created, you want to send an email, or 2 days after the record was created. So that is where you have to add a time trigger, and based on that time trigger you can define the time dependent workflow actions, right? So any actions you define here will be the immediate actions. Time dependent action, you can define a time trigger, let's say 3 days after rule trigger date. So any action that you define under this time trigger will be all these actions will be done whatever time trigger we have done after that time. Got it? So that is how it is. So let's put immediate action right now. Okay, so in immediate action what we want to do, we want to send an email alert. We want to send an email, right? Select email alert. Now you have to select an email template from here. If you remember in our last session, I guess we were talking about these email templates. We designed the email templates and all. So select your email templates and then select the recipient who should receive it. Owner. Product owner will receive it. If you want, you can put additional email IDs to be CC'd. You can put up to 5 email IDs to be copied on the email. And click on save. Once it is done, you should click on done. Right? Now the workflow rule has been created. The only thing that is left for us to do is to activate this rule. The only thing that is left for us here is to activate the rule. Till the time we do not activate it, this will not be active and it will not work. Remember, we were talking about activating the validation rule also. Whenever there is a rule that we are defining in Salesforce, we always need to activate it. Okay. Or you can also deactivate it when you don't want that rule to work, right? So sometimes you don't want this rule to work, just deactivate it. But now for this to work, first of all, we need to activate it. Anytime you create a workflow rule, validation rule, you want to test it, please go and activate it and then test it. So let's see. Rule activated. Now let me go and create a new. So I'm creating a new record. Let me save it. Okay. Now this should automatically send an email to owner of the record, so which is Vijay. So Vijay, just go and check if you have received an email. In the meanwhile, I should have also received it. See, I have also received an email. So what is written here, don't go by that, because that is just the template that we created. So you can create any template and you can write whatever you want here, but automatically it sends an email. So why did it send it to me? Because I put my email ID in the CC part. So it has copied me on that email. It has sent it to Vijay and it has kept me CC on this automated email. Got that thing? It's a very useful attribute in Salesforce, which you can use for automating a lot of stuff. So this is something which is required, right? Whenever there is a lead entered into the system or a contact entered into the system and you want to send an automated email, usually what happens, there is a lead which has come and sales guy sits and starts drafting an email. So these kind of email sending thing can be, pretty much automated. Automated emails can be sent. So every time this guy does not have to send those emails and all. Got that? So that's about our workflow rule. Now, similar to a workflow rule is an approval process. Okay. So what is an approval process? Approval process is where you want to have a process of approval in place. Process of approval, when I say, I mean you want the records to be approved. Okay. So in workflow, what is happening? The record meets certain criteria, you send an email or you do some action and that's it. But in approval process, the record meets some criteria and based on the record meeting the criteria, you want an approval from someone. Okay. I mean, just take a simple example. When you apply for leave or something in your company, it goes to your manager. So automatically, system should control that approval process. You should not need to, go to the manager and say, well, okay, fine, I need this and all that stuff, right? So Salesforce manages for this kind of thing. Okay. Let's say in this case, Vijay is the CEO of the company. Okay, for that Salesforce instance that we are talking about. Anytime price of product is more than $500, it requires approval from, let's say, now this is a scenario. It's not just about sending an email and that's it. It is about, if the price is more than $500, it requires an approval. So how this works? The moment you create the record will be created. Okay. Then it automatically sends